Gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Please subscribe with notifications on.
Greetings, people! I cannot hear you! Hey! Alright! Make it like we got life! Yes! 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 We wake up! We wake up! Yes, people! Greetings to the name of His Majesty, Haile Selassie the First, Empress of the Roman in one perfect balance. I see male, I see female, I don't see anything she. I see male and female, and that is great. How God wants us to be. Yes. People, this is a great day. I can look at the clouds, I say, look, God is saying no rain, not a day to rally. He can send the clouds and shield me from the heat, because recently, He said it's so hot. Lord of mercy. But the Lord Almighty, the creator of all creation, know that His people are standing up. He is sending a hurricane over here. Don't be afraid of nothing. What we're doing is something the Almighty was looking for us to do every saint. So He said nothing to harm me unless it was necessary, because He got a bigger plan. But yes, people, stay focused. We ain't bowing to this system. We are not bowing to this system in their ignorance. Let them know we want transparency. And the burden the people have to bear every day, and all these levies and all these uppity people and all the rich living happy and laughing and feel like it's easy and feel like we're joking. No! We standing up in these times. Don't be afraid of this little crowd. The Almighty can jump the one day when you see the real crowd come out. Yes, people, this is the time that we have to take stand, because we've been unfair. They set traps to cause other people to take poison in their hand. And next minute, I miss Tom, I miss Richard, I miss Shaw, Sandy, Sandra. I'm gonna let Roy here that them take the job. Here recently, next door to me, a neighbor of business, she died. And you know who she died from the same thing. So people, don't let this trick me once, they ain't tricking me again. No! They take the people money and doing us the like. You know what's $80 million every year? That they're gonna invest in something and your money. And they telling you, if you are a woman or if you are a husband and he take you $50 of his spending and he tell you where he buy it in, you gonna be vexed. And that's just $50. But you know it's $80 million that they taking. I wonder if they're invested in guns, pornography, pedophiles. I want to know what's going on, because we used to put them there. And if you put people in place, right, they should give account. This government feel like they don't have to give account to the poor people. We want to know what's going on with the money. And don't tell me that you can't get back just some of the money that would have taken. You want 1.7 billion. You know it's 1.7 billion? Well, all we here will live till we dead and still got some extra change there that we could do something else. These people look to take advantage because they feel that we don't got much sense. But I want to know that we are intelligent people, because they just do things unknown to us, and they don't care if we vex or we please. This government is going down. You don't have to give a account to us like being a body. If everybody over here so know that there's somebody, raise your hand. Let me see. Yes. Why know we somebody? So therefore, the government have to give us a account of what everything that they're doing in the job. Everything that we put it, they're working for us. You can't go and take a government and do things, and then when everything go wrong, we, the poor people, have to work hard and give them back money to get the business or get the country back in order. Nah! How can you do that? And then when the people say something, you play you disrespecting the people and tell the people all kind of foolishness. Like the people that got the sense. Barbados, you are a people that going to make a difference in the Caribbean. Trust you, trust me. We can show them, even if you have to walk here weeks and weeks, till we get the justice, till the Almighty will even step in and do what he got to do. Because I know the Almighty is on our side. So the devil have to run. And if they're devils, they're going to run. Because they're treating you wrong and not right. And you cannot be wrong and get right. I heard the Prime Minister say, you can't be wrong and get right. Yes, so she don't know all the wrong and still feel she right. I can't get this to understand. People, I acting like a madman to you. Because she more crazy than me because they make sense. You're doing all this wrong to the people. I'm telling the people, you cannot be wrong and right. Yes, you're doing it, and it is all right. You see, these people right in high places, just got it. Don't do what we do. Do what you hear we tell you to do. You understand? They just got it. They tell me things that we should obey them, but when it comes to following the straight and narrow path, they're doing the opposite. From their lifestyle right back down, they're doing this. And we as a people, we keep standing for that. We as people, we know we come through when we used to live together as a people. We used to share one another. We used to check for the children. We used to check for the neighbors and the children and keep them in line. But we have been infiltrated from all different cultures, from all over. We have been infiltrated from governments from all over. We have been infiltrated by the big wigs And all them people that organize crime, organize illegal things, these people that plan to get rid of me, all these people, they have infiltrated Barbados. Barbados, bitches, we're gonna take back what belongs to us. And by doing that, we got to let the government know, you got to stop what you're doing that is wrong to we. And we're not joking. We coming out, we can even fast if it's necessary against the system. We can take up the power of the Most High and use it against you. And the Almighty will give her no justice. Because when they plan to give you the justice, I'm gonna feel like it's a joke thing. Imagine when I recently tell the people, oh, this ID card, it's just an ID card and I'm gonna change it up thing. And we was warning people, be careful with these people. This gonna lead you into the cashless system, and when you get in there, it lock down, you're going straight back into slavery. You understand? This is all the technicality that they carry you back into slavery. Are we in for that? We want to stand in a better way that we can have decisions of our own life and our destiny. When you get that ID and you tap into that, you put that chip in that thing, and then you get hooked up with government, and government taking control, you lost. Because anything you do or how you spend your money, them can control. They only playing that them in doing that there right now. But see what I tell you with the old people, that they will monitor. And they can do that to the old people because the old people are vulnerable. So they can trick the old people. Because you know the old people, man, that is good, man, that can do for me. Because the old people ain't got the head like we got. So we gonna stand up for the old people and represent the old people and represent some of these young people who have been infiltrated with all culture, ignorant culture, taking up a gun and go and shoot your brother, go and rob this body, go and rob old people. You understand? A lot of them, when they come to get responsibility, a lot of them catch themselves, and some might not, some might die along the way. But we gotta keep on pushing and pray that the Almighty save some of them. Young people gotta wait and know that it's not a joke thing. You see me here, we standing up for winner. Because when they really take their lives that serious, but we as a people, and we elders and what have been through experience, we know what it's like to be up, we know what it's to be down. Some of them can't bear the little thing in jail. I might come up, pull down with a pass out of a hurry, and take the next minute, but I come back and interfere with these young girls and doing all kind of nastiness. We gotta prevent our children from going to jail. We gotta provide jobs. And you can't just think about tourism. They got many different things. Even the movie industry, but they don't want to be excelling. Because they know how that we really get to our people, or the people that know how to do things can make it happen. But no, they want their bigger friends to be the people to make it happen. We got things that we can get used to do. They get all these youths that worry about with these bikes. Get some place and set up for them, that them can for the weekend. We got what to do in the stunts instead of out on the road, trying to do all kind of things and getting themselves hurt and even getting killed by a motor car. We got this to create money for the youths in this country, but the government all focus, man, is they're all focused for tourism.
I have a lady right in front of me who works there, so she can testify of the situation that exists in the National Insurance Office. I want to understand the picture that I'm going to paint for you. Now, it's a situation where National Insurance is going a total board, whereby the staff of the National Insurance Office will not be managed by central government. Now, it has not gone aboard as yet. It means that the professionals in the National Insurance Office who know what should happen and what should not happen, they are going home. They're not being consulted about national insurance, about your money, you know, and about my money. And I'm here not just for those who are working, but I'm here for the pensioners of Barbados. Because my mother is 92, and my great aunt is 108. So I know what it is to be around old people and understand the fight that they made for our country. But the Barbados Workers Union and the NUPW, I'm going to be specific, continue to sell out Barbados. And I make no apologies for it. For the simple reason that both of them have a permanent seat on the National Insurance Board. So for whatever decisions that has to be made by the National Insurance Board, the NUPW and the Barbados Workers Union are party to that decision. Now, if you look at the Sunday Sun, the last Sunday Sun, you're gonna see an article there where the Deputy Chairman of the National Insurance Board, Ronald Adams, along with the entire board, are proposing that self-employed people in Barbados be allowed to claim employment injury. Now, you're not going to say, we are going to say, them going to say, but look at this. Now, if you are injured on the job, it means that when you send your claim to National Insurance, you tell National Insurance what happened. So National Insurance is going to automatically send a report to your workplace to get confirmation of what happened. But I am a self-employed person, so I go a body wash shop and I am hurt. I said I am hurt. I ain't saying I'm hurt. When I'm working, I said I am hurt. So I send in a form to National Insurance, tell the National Insurance Office I get hurt when I was working. So National Insurance now takes a form, put my name on it, and send it to me and ask me what happened. That makes sense to you? But hold on a minute. It may seem simple, but you know what's gonna happen? When that form comes into the National Insurance Office, and I tell them that I get hurt at work, I can now get medical expenses and traveling paid for the rest of my life. I can claim disablement, and I can get maybe $50, $60, or $100,000 out of National. I ain't only one body, you know. So you are opening up a scheme that you already write off $1.3 billion of. You already gave the pensioners in 2019 when you made a foolish promise. Why can't I say foolish promise? Because it was a smart promise. While in opposition, you made a promise to the pensioners of Barbados, the non-contributing pensioners, that you would give them a raise. So when you gave them the raise, you didn't stop and think that the National Insurance pensioners would have to get a raise. So that's where this whole thing started, you know. This thing started in 2019 when the government changed and the pensions of Barbados were given the increase. I'm not against the pension getting an increase, because every year there's a statutory requirement that the pension in Barbados get an increase. So when I heard the Prime Minister here, they're saying that I can get a cost of living allowance of about whatever, the Prime Minister is lying. Because since 2006, pensioners in Barbados have been getting an increase in their pensions almost every year. Check any old person in Barbados and they will tell you that in January of every year they get a little berry. Why? Because it was a pension reform agreement. When they had pension reform in 2006, that is what happened. So we travel down the road. You have a situation where they are changing the legislation, not because it needed to be changed, but because of the deliberate action of the Prime Minister, the NUPW, the Barbados Workers Union, the Barbados Employees Confederation, the Hotel Association, the leader of the Chief Labor Officer, and the Director of Finance. These are the ones that sit on the board. And they sat down, continue to sit down, and allow the Prime Minister or whoever to make decisions. Because I spoke at the Alexander School last year when they had the town hall meetings. No, you have town hall meetings. I would like to believe that when you have town hall meetings, you are asking me to come and give my view. You are asking Gearbox to come and give his view. You are calling all kind of people the opportunity to come and give their views. But you had already made a decision. What are you going to do? And I can hear the leader of the Barbados Workers Union talking a lot of fancy talk. By the end of the day, she has been very much complicit in selling out the people of Barbados. You wait a minute, so? Because I remember very well when they had the by-election in St. George, when she was running, I heard the Prime Minister on her platform indicated that They're gonna bring on some home care workers. Now we have people who work for NMB who perform a task in this country. But you're gonna bring on people and tell them you're paying them a stipend of $400. So they refuse to take on national insurance for those people. You bring on thousands of ash workers. But do you know that come the end of this month, in the next 2 weeks, all 3,000 of the ash workers not a cent more than they get because they became unemployed on the 1st of April this year. And the Prime Minister was so smart. Listen, one for yourself, we're not like every Prime Minister. We got a very sensible Prime Minister. She's so sensible that she's still on me regular. Because it don't happen. They want to take on national insurance, but she knows very well. If I send home people the 1st of April, it means in order for them to qualify to get unemployment, they would have had to pay at least 20 weeks between April and December. So you know what she did? She went back and paid the national insurance between July and December so that I had to pay 6 weeks and get the unemployment. But you know what happened? As I speak right now, there are workers in Barbados who work, I can't say they work for NCC, they work with NCC in the Botanical Garden. They are still not paying national insurance right now. The government of Barbados has individuals in this country who are working with the government, for the government, by the government, and not a cent is being taken out. Where is the NUPW? Where is the Barbados Workers Union? These are people that are exposed to all the dangers you can think about. You can imagine one of those workers, God forbid, come in contact with some metal whatever, like the young man that died earlier this week, and you can tell me that not a cent, because the government of Barbados is choosing not to pay national insurance as I speak for some of the workers, and they have the goal to be getting there saying that private employers have people working and not paying national insurance. It is not the government. The National Insurance Department holds the right to determine who is self-employed and who is not. National Insurance Department. And therefore, if you deciding when a man can work, when he can lunch, when he go home on evenings, he cannot be self-employed. So I'm saying to you, those that are making the decisions for national insurance ain't got a clue about national insurance. But hear this, they have been changing the terms and conditions of government workers. Now, in 2019, they took the staff from NCC, National Sports Council, and some of the others. You have appointed officers in this country. They are appointed. They are paying appointed rates. Again, where is the NDPW? Where is the Barbados Workers Union? They are paid, and they made them no regular employees, just like some person who work for K. Shepherd. But do you know that only on Wednesday of this week, or Thursday, the staff from BRA got an email. Yes, they got an email whereby they're changing the terms and conditions of the staff at BRA, and they had the audacity to send out an email telling them we're gonna have a Zoom meeting. Which is gonna last 20 minutes. Now you got BRA that God was over 1,000 people that were working there. You can have a Zoom meeting and you can tell them we want to talk to you, but we want to hear from you, but you only got 20 minutes. This is the disrespect that we, the people of Barbados, continue to encounter. I said, I have spent over 40 years of my life talking about national insurance, serving the people of national insurance, and it hurts me in my belly to see what is happening to my country. I'm going to touch on the ID card situation very quickly. You know why? Now, we have some cultures in Barbados. If you doubt me, go to any post office in Barbados, patient day. Go to any post office, patient day. Go there about 6:30 in the morning. And you can see people lined up, so gathered around post offices at 6:30 in the morning. And you wonder, what are people doing this early? That is their social gathering every 2 weeks. Those people go there every 2 weeks. So we gotta understand this. In order for national insurance to save money, what they have been doing for years is trying to force the pensioners of Barbados to send the money to the bank or the credit union. Now we're talking about old people. Now, if all pensioners in Barbados are forced to send their money to the bank or the credit union, how many banks in St. Lucie? How many banks in St. Lucie? None. How many Scotia banks in St. Peter? None. How many in St. Andrew? None. How many in St. John? None. How many in St. George? None. How many in St. Joseph? None. So you can imagine, the old people of Barbados, you are subjecting them to send their money to the bank or the credit union. No, but imagine this. My mother is 92. She never used an ATM card in her life. So therefore, she can't get a pension check no more. She got to go to the bank on mornings to get the money. So my poor mother at 92, going in the bank and standing in front of the cashier, the first thing that happened is the bank is going to charge her for coming to the teller. That's the first thing you know. The first thing that happened is the bank is going to charge her for coming to the teller. That's what is subjecting the old people of my country to. So you know what happened? My mother can't hear so good. So she standing by the teller. You know what happened? She said, what did you say? And the line long. Because all the pensioners stand up in line. That's what they want to subject all people to. Okay?
There's a certain reporter that whenever he comes to these marches, you can be sure that in the papers he will write or online, he will say the numbers are not growing. Even if the number grows, he says the number is not growing. I don't know what his agenda is, but he is the only person who comes every time we have a march, and he writes in the newspaper, he goes online, he talks about the numbers are not growing. Let me tell her what this is. This is people who understand what commitment is. These are people who understand what principle is. Not a single soul out here marching because somebody offered them a free t-shirt. Not a single soul is marching because you offered them a beer. Not a single soul is out here marching because you say you could get them a free food. When we get to the end of the march, we disperse, or we go and buy something from one of the vendors in the area. But nobody has promised anybody here a free t-shirt, a free bag, a free towel, a free pencil case, nothing. This is a group of people who raise their own money to put on this march every time we come out to march. And Barbadians usually don't want to talk about money, but it costs us about $2,500 every time we march. And we raise that money from amongst ourselves. We raise that money from amongst our friends. We raise that money from people who are committed to the cause. And you know what the cause is? At the end of the day, it is the right to protest in this country. The right to tell the government, I do not agree with you. The right to tell the Prime Minister that it is lunacy for a minister to receive a pension at 50. And the ordinary people of Barbados have to wait till 68. We are marching for the right to be able to tell all the ministers, to tell all of them, that it is not right to keep carrying up the pensionable age every time you just finish licking out the money. That is what we are protesting about. We are out there protesting because we know that some of you out there knows that if they carry up the pension age to 68, eventually they will carry it up to 75. This is why we are out here marching. This is why we are protesting. And the courageous few, ladies and gentlemen, are out here because you two know it is not right that a minister should be getting a pension at the age of 50 and we got to wait till 68. You know that it is not right. But you might be frightened to come out here. So we are marching on your behalf. There is no political agenda here. We are marching for what is right. We are marching for principle. We are marching for accountability. You cannot write off $1 billion out of the pension fund and feel that you don't have to make an excuse for it. You can't send $80 million and just tell us that you send it overseas. Overseas where? Overseas where? Where is your $80 million going? Do you not want to know? Well, I want to know where the $80 million is going, and I have asked the Prime Minister, where is the $80 million going? And she refuses to answer. She refuses to answer. I feel that she forget that we employ her. I hope that you don't forget it. We employ those ministers. We pay their salary. They are accountable to us. And when we ask them a legitimate question, they must answer. The Prime Minister must not just laugh and say, oh, they're out there walking to exercise. That it is only a few people that got a problem. Well, I would like to think that if only one of the people that she's supposed to represent in Barbados has a problem with what she is doing, I would like to think that she would answer. All you are asking her to do is to talk and to tell us, and she's a woman that likes talking. She's a woman that likes talking. So how come when we ask, where's the $80 million going, she cannot answer? But you mustn't only ask the Prime Minister. Everybody here has a representative. Your representative needs to tell you if we have 80, and remember the $80 million going every year. It's not just 1 year. Every year, they're taking $80 million out of the National Insurance Scheme to invest it somewhere or the other, and we don't know. It's just like if you take the $80 million, and just throw it out in the sea. We don't know where it's going, and we don't know how much money coming back, and we don't know if it's coming back, or if in 10 years' time, either she or some other politician is going to come and tell us, well, you know, the pensionable age is now at 75, and there is nothing that we can do about it. Because Barbadians, I want you to know that the docile people, that people try to tell you that you are not. What I would say about Barbadians is that you don't get a march for every foolishness. That's a fact. But when things are getting like how they are getting now, you get up. You get up and do what you have to do. And a message has to go to the Prime Minister and her cabinet that we are not happy We are not happy with what is happening. They got people in this march that vote for you. They vote for you and they are disappointed that when they ask you a simple question about the NIS, you are refusing to answer. But if the rest of Barbados frightened to come out, the people here, the good people, you're going to have to thank these people. You're going to have to thank these people in years to come that got the government of 2023 to pull back on what they are doing. To pull back on what they are doing. You might not be seen as a hero now. Heroes are only seen as an afterthought and an aftersight, but you will be seen as heroes. And I want to encourage you to come out here Saturday by Saturday by Saturday by Saturday and make sure that the government hears, because the government like it hard of hearing. We are talking to them and they are proceeding to do whatever they feel like doing. They're not listening. And I'm saying to you that even if it were only one Barbadian that had a problem, they should answer. Because we are paying their salaries. We employ them, they don't employ us. We employ them, they do not employ us. So when you wake up 10 years from now and they're telling you that you gotta work till 75 before you can get a pension, are you going to be sorry that you didn't join this march? Are you going to be sorry then? You should come now. You should come now. But we know that some people fighting and they don't want to come. We know that. And we're marching for you. But we expect you to come. We expect you to come eventually. We expect you to come and speak. But what I'm saying to you is that these are people of commitment here working on your behalf, and we will continue to work on your behalf. And let me tell you a bit of your history that you don't know anything about. In the 1930s that you hear about all the time of the riots, people try to tell you that Clement Payne come to Barbados and start a riot. That is absolute rubbish. Work was being done before Clement Payne ever got here. It was Bajans that they don't like to call the names. They don't want to call the names of the Bajans like Ulrich Grant and Israel Lovell. They don't want to call the Bajan names that were out here fighting before Clement Payne ever think of coming to Barbados. When he was going to be God himself to come here, and in 3 days he caused a riot to occur. But let me tell you, this isn't the first time that Bajans have been treated badly. What about the sugar workers? All back in 1958, the sugar workers had to protest to get the money. You understand that? The planters sold the sugar, got good money for it, and then when they get to Barbados and they're asking, the workers were asking for the money. The workers weren't given the money. You gotta learn your history. The same thing happened back in 1963. The same thing happened back in 1963. And from accounts from back in that day, sugar workers went to the representatives of the time, armed, and asked them why they're not getting the money. That is the history of Barbadians and Bajans. But nobody don't want to talk about it. I had to be reading a book by Rachel Crawford to understand that back in the 50s, back in the 60s, Bajans were protesting about things that were happening to them. I understand that in 19 1958 and in 1964, the Barbados Workers Union was in existence too. But they weren't doing what the workers wanted. So the workers had to stand up and protest for themselves. And I want Barbadians to understand that they are now more under control than ever before in their existence. Because many Barbadians feel that they have to wait on the NUPW before they come out and march. They feel they have to wait on the Barbados Workers Union before they come out and march. They feel that they're going to wait on the Barbados Labour Party before they come out and march. They feel they're going to wait on the Democratic Labour Party before they come out and march. But let me tell you people, no matter what organization you belong to, you have every right to get up and march for yourself. And we are going to be out here Saturday after Saturday after Saturday until they're here. Until they're here. Every time. Saturday after Saturday, people. Saturday after Saturday. And some days our committed soldiers might have something to do that they can't come, but they come the next Saturday. They come the next Saturday. And we're going to keep doing this. Because, now let me tell you this big issue is. We work hard. We work hard. We put money into the government. We put money into the government through taxes, through national insurance. The government can't give it to who they feel like. The government can't give the money, lend the money to people and then write it off. The government can't do that. Why was the money written off at Four Seasons when the land's still down there? The land's still down there, but the money that we lend to Four Seasons is not down there anymore. The first act of this government was to just write it off. But I want you to know that money is not like getting an eraser and rubbing it out. Somebody got the money. Somebody got the money. And we are saying to the Prime Minister that the people who got the money, no matter who they are, that the people need to give that money back.
Barbados! We march for our rights! I am here to talk to you about the Child Protection Bill. Barbados, I come to bring a warning. The Child Protection Bill, in its current format, is the legal framework for gender transitioning, sexual transitioning of our boys and our girls, our children. Our future generations are being ripped away. Our boys will say they want to be girls. Our girls will say they want to be boys. The Child Protection Bill is the legal framework for the decline in parental rights. You will not be able to disagree with your child. You will not be able to give them moral direction. You will be called a child abuser. The Child Protection Bill is the legal framework for the criminalization of good mothers and good fathers and good grannies and good aunties. It is the destruction of the family. Do not be fooled, Barbados. Be warned. The Child Protection Bill doesn't say it plainly. They get and they argue and say, read it for yourself. It is like the computer test to our first formers. It said it was a computer test, but it wasn't just testing about any computer knowledge. It was asking all types of sensitive questions of if they are sexually active and so forth. It is wrong. It is wrong, Barbados. Beware. The Child Protection Bill comes to destroy our families in its present form. Barbados, beware. In America, in Europe, in Canada, in Australia, in England, they have legal framework whereby your child goes to school. He is a boy, she is a girl. They are dressed in boy clothes if it is a boy, girl clothes if it is a girl. But when they get to school, without your knowledge, without your permission, Barbados, they change the name of your child. Given at birth, who gave them that right? They are not the child's parents or guardians. They tell the child to change his or her pronouns. He's no longer a him. It's no longer a her. Beware the Child Protection Bill, Barbados. They allow the child to change clothes, to dress like the opposite sex. They allow the child to receive training and counseling and teaching to lie to them that they can become something they are not, to confuse those children. They want to bring this to Barbados. We say no. We said not about here. Not about here. Not about here. Not about here. We said no to the Child Protection Bill in its present form. We must truly protect our children. We must protect our children from sexual transitioning, Barbados. The Child Protection Bill, we say no. We say no. The Child Protection Bill can make it illegal for you to take your child to church, to give your child moral grounding, moral foundation. Even if you don't go to church, the Child Protection Bill can say it's child abuse for you to disagree when your child comes home and says, I am born a boy, but I am really a girl. They say it's child abuse. The Child Protection Bill is a legal framework on which they can destroy the family. We say no. We say no. We say no to the Child Protection Bill. No. And guess what? It is easy to cure. It is easy to prevent this. All they need to do is put a provision in the bill saying it is not intended for the gender transitioning or the sexual transitioning of children. That is all that needs to be done. I said we want it in writing. Our Prime Minister said that is not her intention. We want it in writing. We want it in the bill. The song says, put it in writing. Yes! Put it in writing. We want it in the bill. Put it in writing.
Make it clear.
Make it clear. Make it something we can depend on before the courts of law. That is not the intention of the bill. Make it something we can trust. That is not the intention of the bill. Make it something that therefore cannot be corrupted and misused. Barbados, we say no to the Child Protection Bill. No to the Child Protection Bill in its current form. The Child Protection Bill can be used to transgender our young ones. Don't let them fool you. They don't have the words in there, but it is legal framework. It is able to do so. It's able to do counseling. It is able to do surgery. Can you imagine your young son? He is a teenager, he decides to castrate himself. Your daughter decides to sew up her vaginal area. Can you imagine this, to become the opposite sex in Barbados?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. I want to share a few thoughts with you today so you can understand what we, the people of this country, are responsible for. In 2018, on the 24th of May, 2018, and on the 19th of January 2022, Barbados voted for an opposition. Maybe you never looked at it that way, but in 2018 and 2022, Barbados decided that the only political party that would represent them as an opposition would be the people of Barbados. And today, the people of Barbados is the official opposition in this country. Not the DLP, not the DLP, not the APP, the people of Barbados. It is the definition of a republic by the people, for the people, of the people. Governments around the world are resisting the protests of their people, and we are seeing it being attempted in Barbados. Our Prime Minister, wonderful woman, articulate woman, lovely lady, travels the world doing exactly what we are doing here today. She's protesting the unfairness of the global financial sector against small island states with matters of economy, debt, and climate change. Why then, madam, will you cast aspirations upon the hundreds of Barbadians who every week come out to march in protest for the voice of the opposition to be heard? In Parliament, ma'am, you are required to give an explanation to the opposition. The people of Barbados are asking you for an explanation for a number of things. In America today, we are beginning to see an attempt to research vaccine mandates and the COVID-19 pandemic. You may ask me, why would a protest address that when we don't have that as a problem? We don't have it yet. But we are warning our government that should you attempt to follow the United States Food and Drug Administration and the CDC from where the World Health Organization gets its mandate and its information, we the people will not comply. We will not comply. We now know that it is not conspiracy. It is not false information. When we told you that vaccines were dangerous, when we told you that people who took their vaccines would face ramifications, and people told us it was false information, now the world can see that what we said was true. No more mandates. Don't come back with vaccine talk. Not when my body has a God-given protective mechanism to help me resist any disease or virus. We were lied up. We were told the vaccines, first of all, would have kept us from contracting the disease. Lie number one, people took it and caught the disease. We were then told it would keep you from going into hospital and suffering deadly effects. That was lie number two, because the people went into hospital and suffered. Lie number three was that you wouldn't have to worry about death. That is the third lie. We now know that the highest level of deaths from COVID-19 now lie among the vaccinated people of the world. And I pray God, if you have had the vaccine, that He will protect you from what could potentially, in your ignorance, you were not aware of being a part of. You might ask me, what does vaccines have to do with NIS? Well, if you're dead, you don't need INS. What do vaccines have to do with it? We are marching today for transparency and accountability. And there may be people who look at us and say, well, you're small in number. Let me remind you, there was a fella who with 12 people turned the world upside down. And if you don't know his name, go and pick up your Bible and read the first 4 Gospels. You'll find out who he is. And today, with the impact of 12 men, he's affecting a world of 8.2 billion. Man, do not underestimate the power of one. Rosa Parks was one. There's more than one here today. Let me draw your attention to one other thing before they kick me off the truck. They tell us that this Barbados ID is not a problem. I am saying to you, you are a liar. The world knows what is tied to a digital ID. And when you tie your digital ID and pin it, you are giving the government oversight of your private business and accessibility to everything to do with you. One minister said that it is not an issue, yet he will come back and tell you that they're gathering information. I don't care what information you're gathering. You don't have my permission to gather information about me. We are told you don't have to pin it. That is lie number 3. We have already heard the leadership of this country point to the fact that the National Insurance Scheme is the next step on the digital ID, and it will require you to be pinned. What nonsense! Barbadians are not stupid. They're more educated and informed today than they have ever been, because we have access to information. We do not have to depend upon a government to give us information anymore. We now have that access to it ourselves. So I encourage you, get informed, know what your digital ID is about. Talk to New Zealand, talk to Australia, talk to the United Kingdom, look at the World Economic Forum, and you will see what they express concerning the dangers and the risks of the ID. As a result, government's invasion of your privacy and what they refer to as the overreach of government. The digital ID is not a joke. And what we need to hear is our leadership tell us, are you going to implement those aspects as well? We want to know. Don't talk to me about a loan to build a national stadium or grant. I want to hear the terms and conditions. It's called transparency. Don't talk to me about a $300 million loan to refurbish our airport. We want to hear about the terms and conditions of the loan. It's called transparency. And I want to remind you that this opposition of the people are going to demand of you and are demanding of you accountability. This country is not your domain. You are not the king and queen of Barbados. You are accountable to the people. That is what you call a republic.
We should have suspected outside interference was going on in this country from the way they were attacking us from inside out. They allowed the Parliament of Barbados to be used in a coup to take away the representation from the people, to give it over to the international community. The international community that we are now $4 billion in debt in 5 years. They are saying that the IMF is our savior. But the IMF will be the first ones up front to devalue the Barbados dollar. They will be the ones up front to plunge this country into poverty. And where will Mayor Motley be? at the UN in a big job. That is what we were used for. So I want the people of this country to continue standing up for your rights. Continue to march for the right of protest. That we will not be muzzled in the face of dictatorship. Where you can use the parliament of this country to pass laws to victimize innocent Barbadians, to victimize Owen Bob, to victimize the teachers, to victimize the nurses, to instruct a director of finance to freeze the pay of nurses who march in this country. A director of finance in collaboration with the chairman who's given over our last bastion of sovereign money. The NIS is the last bastion of sovereign money that we have. And if we allow them to take it, they would have taken our lifeline. Are you going to allow them to take our lifeline? The Lord has blessed us with leaders, strong leaders of the years, who gave to us, who gave us the ideas for the NIS, who gave us the ideas for free health care, who gave us the ideas for free education. I know you have some muscle on the bees that are taking our every benefit and right from us, asking us to work until we die in this country, while they continue to get kickbacks off every contract issued around here. Don't forget they say that all big works come through me. But I have news for you, all big works come through the Lord. And if the Lord has to remove you from earth to free his people, that he will do. So I am saying, as we cross the Chamberlain Bridge, to remember what the 1937 riots were about. Remember what the potato riots were about. It was all about liberation for the masses of this country. That you may stand firm in the world as a Barbadian, feeling empowered, educated, taken care of by state-of-the-art health care, having adequate roads to drive on, and lastly, and most importantly, having a proper spiritual and moral system to go by in this country. And that no international bank or financial institution should trample the rights of a sovereign people to come into a country and to break the laws of this country and not be fined money and not be expelled from this country. How can the IADB, without offering us debt forgiveness, be allowed to get away with something like that? It is because we've been sold to the devil. It is because they believe that we are a soulless people. It's because they believe that we do not have any principles. But I will say to them, look in the mirror first before you look to the people of Barbados. Because we collectively will not stand for corrupt, immoral leadership in this country when we have future generations to take care of. When we have future generations to do the good work of the Lord in this country and all through the Caribbean and all through the world, that we may not continue to prostitute this country and selling off our state assets by asking people to pay a sewage tax for sewage that they are not connected to, for trying to privatize the Barbados Water Authority in secret and in the dark. But the Lord will shine some light upon this little Barbados. And though they may bring this digital ID along with their drones to continue the state surveillance of citizens of this country, you can only spy here so far, because our Father above has blessed us with a conscience to know right from wrong. And if it takes the official opposition of this country, meaning the people of Barbados, to stand up and to whip the government into understanding what is right from wrong, it is that we have to do. We will not comply to any unjust set of laws. We will not comply to any unjust and unfair set of rules. Will you continue to plunge us into poverty while making yourselves richer? We have come to the end of self-serving governments in this country. And the next government of Barbados, the people's government, will be a new set of ideals, a new set of values. And we are done with all traditions which have oppressed the people of this country. And new and green pastures, every Barbadian shall stand tall in the new governance of this country. 30 in, 30 out. 30 in, 30 out. My people, congratulations to you. You are the official opposition. And in the next couple of, I would say, months or next year, you will be the official government of Barbados. Thank you very much.
Hello, good day everyone. I'm not sure if it's afternoon yet, so good evening. I am happy to see you all here today. You are among the people with the most guts in this country, because most of the people in Barbados are afraid. I see people approach me every day of my life. They call me at home, they see me on the street, they call me in the office. If I go to meetings to represent somebody, even the employers are telling me, keep up what you're doing. But they're not here because they're scared. We are scared of one woman. What she got that got you so frightened because she went to Africa and buried the flag and bring on the demons? That don't help, that don't hurt. And only your mind will hurt you, is what you believe. But let me start by telling you, I'm not seeing the drone anymore. Because, it's behind me, that is not ours, you know. We are a poor group. We can barely afford water for the crowd, so we can't afford the drone. So, that is not ours. So, even though they're saying that we are not effective, they are still monitoring us as closely as possible. So that is inconsistent. You can't tell me that we don't matter or we're making a difference, but you deploy drones and all kind of things to hear us. But our cause is just. So I don't care what they do. They cannot say that anything that we have said here is untrue. We told you, we started with the national insurance. We told you they want to take your national insurance money. They want to take your national insurance money away from you and use it for their purposes. You know what I tell you? You might feel, oh God, I'm young now, I am 95 and then I work with a pension. I was 25 the other day too, you know. I was just the other day when I was 25. I'm real cute, and all the girls that like me. Now there's only one girl that let me know, she's in the background there. You know? Trust me, you can reach this age and your pension time will come. But what they have done now is to ask you to contribute more to get less. But not them. Not them. Let me start with how pensions for parliamentarians came about. In 1969, you know, this parliamentary service was mostly for people who want to give back to the country. You weren't paid and you weren't given the pensions, but they started these pensions in 1969. And Barrow synchronized the pensions with the civil service, because the civil servants were entitled to retire at 55 on their pension. So he said, well, let the civil servants can retire the pension at 55, so too should the politicians. But later their politicians decide, look, civil servants should retire at 60, then 65, then 67, and now 68. All the while, The same people who started at 55, the politicians, have brought theirs down to 50. And they don't want to have a commission, and they want to have everything to see if it is right. Why it got to be so much fuss to find out why politicians should get their pension like everybody else? Why you going to have a commission, why you got to wait for the parliamentary review body and all kind of nonsense? Did they have a commission to decide what they're going to do with national insurance? No. They had town hall meetings after the fact. They had town hall meetings after they drafted the legislation and people started to talk about it. So then they had some sort of parole. Since they had some sort of pushback, they come and they pretended that, oh, we're going to do the right thing. You can't do the right thing wrong. And scarily enough, on the Marshall Week show, we disclosed that they were going to take the control of the National Insurance Fund from the National Insurance Board, and the state will be responsible, and then the state will advise the minister. Now this is fun, because the state, who operates the state? The Prime Minister and her ministers. So basically the Prime Minister, because the rest of them have got no guts, balls, whatever they call them. Gonads. And they will decide how the national insurance money will be spent, and then they will advise the Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance, how to spend this money, how to invest this money. So it will be the Prime Minister advising the Minister of Finance how to spend this money. There were only 2 times in the history of Barbados after independence that I know about that the Minister of Finance was not the Prime Minister. Then Richie Haynes and then Chris Hickler. No other times. The Prime Minister will essentially advise herself how to spend national insurance money. And before they even the ink dry on that piece of legislation, and before it is enforced, they are telling you that they're going to send 40 million US a year. But this is what the state had planned to do. And they don't have the authority yet, but they're announced it. You can trust these people with your money? I wouldn't trust them with the pennies to step up on the topic to keep them closed and the old days. They will keep them. I do not trust this government with anything. You know, and I can tell you why. I was a member of the Senate. One of her MPs told me that they had said, and I'm going to tell who they said what, that they got to get me up the Senate because they get into much trouble. And they called a whole election to get rid of Admiral Franklin. I'm flattered. Now they thought getting rid of me out the Senate will stop me from talking, you know, but I'm here and I'm talking. You know, they've decided that they're going to do whatever they like. So when they got up in the Senate and they spoke up about the wrongdoings, they couldn't stand it. So it was basically Monitor, Crystal Drakes, and myself. We didn't plan it, we just saw these things and we went ahead and we did what we had to do. And these people decided no, that they make it look too bad. So they decided they're going to get rid of the McGuffey. I am flattered. There was never a McGuffey before in my life. But what it was all about is that they brought legislation to Parliament without telling people what was involved in the legislation. Like for instance, the National Identity Management Bill. That came to Parliament in 2021. And it came to the Senate a day when I, along with Crystal and Monique, had written to the President to say that we were not able to attend the Senate in that day. And these people pulled this piece of legislation from nowhere and passed it in one day, to make sure that I don't get a chance to talk about it. I didn't even know that it was passed then, because I found out 2 years later. And I found out, quite by accident, Mayor Winston sent it to me, and I thought it was a bill. Only when I checked it in the past already, I didn't know. That is how they want to work. But look what happens with this ID card. That's what I'm afraid of it. I don't have any, I don't want none. I have a passport, I have a Barbados ID card, I have a driver's license. If them ain't enough to identify me, I don't know what will. But they are saying to you in that legislation that if you don't get that ID, you can't get a driver's license, you can't vote, you can't go to the hospital for treatment, you can't go to the bank to get the money. So what is so important about this piece of legislation, and why is it so important that they have all of this information in one place on you? Even in the legislation that provided for taking your fingerprints. I end up criminals and I want my fingerprints taken. But I don't trust this government with anything. I don't trust them with my fingerprints because I might get them off one year and put them on a safe. And if people come looking for me and say, "Guys, you're there," I don't trust them. They have not shown that they can be trusted. But they must blame us, you know. And then finally, and then finish off because we get into Independence Square, and I can tell you, the people of Barbados got what they wanted. I know what they vote for, but let me tell you something. It isn't like Mayor Mortley came out of the blue and nobody don't know who or what she was. We knew. We knew. We knew exactly who she was, but we ignored it. We flew in the face of God, man, and supported the devil. So when we did that, we actually told God we're rejecting you. That's what we've done. So you allow them to get the 30 seats and say, well, that's what we want. If you're rejecting what is great and what is good, and you want somebody like that. Morals aside, and Lamamba will tell you about these certain devices that may have been used. I don't know either Lamamba, I've never seen. But that is what we embraced. And we're being punished for it. But we can put it back. We need to get rid of these people. You have a government of one person. Because the rest can't speak up, they can't stand up to this woman, and she does whatever she likes. And then she comes out of the blue with some nonsense. And all of a sudden they tell you, oh, we can give you $1,200. And the Minister of Education on board didn't know. Just like when she saw Rihanna coming down without a bra and she looked so good, she said, nah, she's a hero! You know, get real excited. And they had to go, and the next day when they got awarded the actual ceremony, they had a Boris Sobers medal to put around her neck because it wasn't planned. You know, the actual Boris Sobers where they get you. Because you don't come up one day as a national hero, you have to go and get it, the medal minted. And all that. I said, no. And I can tell you, at least 2 cabinet members told me that they knew nothing about it. She does whatever she likes, but we have to stop her. She goes overseas and get her instructions, then she comes back. Without understanding, because people say she's bright. Not a boy fool you. She has a good memory. She can see things and read them and regurgitate them. But don't ask her to explain them. She doesn't have a clue. And that is our biggest problem in Barbados. She is a bluffer. And as a result, she surrounded herself with a million consultants. We even got a consultant driver now at the Water Authority. I hear people tell me getting $20,000 a month. Oh, power to him. I wish he was making $20,000 a month. But that's what she does. She buys all people because he is the Barbados Labour Party representative on the National Council for St. Peter. See where you're going? She pulling out people, man that drive a truck, no, you drive too good either. And all of a sudden, no, he's a consultant to the government of Barbados. I don't know I'm consulting on what. Changing gears. People just automatically don't know, so they don't need them. But, ladies and gentlemen, we should not be here today. This government should listen. They have all 30 seats, and those 30 seats have made them arrogant. We need to take those 30 seats away from her one way or the other. One way or the other, I mean all legal means necessary. And this march is one of those legal means to show her that we disapprove of her tactics, we disapprove of her behavior, and we disapprove of the way that they're leading this country down the road. Everybody came, the young lady came earlier, the young attorney, and she spoke about the child protection bill. That is not the policies in there didn't happen. There were instructions given to us because they want to make Barbados LGBT, following certain people. I ain't calling the names. I ain't calling names, so nobody don't say and quote me. I said that a bunch of them are LGBT and they want to do it to the country. They want to do everything. Even a lot of them are crooks and they want to start taking national insurance money. You name it, they're doing it. They have done nothing wholesome for the people of this country. Nothing. Everything that they have done so far was to help the rich white people. I don't know why I say rich white people, but they understand what we're talking about. Not the poor. The poor needs help. The fella at the top who got his swimming pool and Mercedes and stuff don't need government assistance, but they're getting it to the detriment of the people at the bottom. Ladies and gentlemen, wake up, or it will be too late. If you don't stand up now, you will be saying, had I known. Had I known has always come too late. It isn't too late now. We need to see more of you out here. We need to see more people writing in the press. We need to see more people going on social media because that is what worked for them. It can work for us. I want to thank you all for supporting this march. They said we are harmful, but the harmful has caused them to deploy a drone today, and God knows whatever else. So we're having an impact. Don't fool yourselves. We are having an impact. They know it, and they're scared that it will grow. Please let it grow, or you will suffer. Thank you all. Good day.
Yeah. Family, thanks for coming again. We'll be back out here in 2 weeks. We'll be back out here. Bring everybody that's here, bring somebody with you. We want to see this get bigger. We want to send a stronger message. And for the people that say would want you to know that you all make a difference. David, sounds funny. So, yeah. All right. And always, hold on for a minute. The brethren here have a sign that says always stand for truth. When cowards are many and champions are few. Right? We are the few. We are the few. And we make a difference. Don't think, because people always saying about when you march, it don't make no difference. But we know and we see what's going on. Marcia Weeks is, don't forget to plug into Marcia Weeks show. Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Don't forget Marcia Weeks. Plug in and share. Plug in and share. Thanks for coming again, people.
They say we gotta close now. If anybody have any contributions towards the next march, you can see Marcia, come to see Marcia. Any contribution, anything that you could give towards the next march in 2 weeks.
Anybody needing a rebound over the third? Anybody need a rebound over?
Very good. Anybody needing a ride back to Massey?
Get the car.
Huh?
To get a car.
To get the cards?
To get vehicles. To get your vehicles. To get way on the front.
Anybody who left their car on Massey car park and need a ride back to clear your car, jump on this truck, find a space, jump on the truck, and we take you on the Massey to get your car.